and welcome to Mostly Rational. I'm Asia Sanchez.
And I'm Tawny Sanchez.
And this is our second annual special Star Wars-themed May the 4th episode of Mostly Rational, which, as of this recording, is tomorrow, so we're going to get this out as fast as we can. You guys sent in a whole bunch of questions, and we're going to try our best to get them all in. Fair warning, since we don't have any expert guests on this time, you may hear some completely ignorant answers to some of these Star Wars questions. Especially from me, Asia. Alrighty, no time to lose. Let's get going.
Cool. So first question is from Jonah, and he asks, if you could be any race from Star Wars other than human, what would you choose? Asia? Stop Googling, Asia. Stop it right now.
I don't know the names of any of the races. What's that one that Ahsoka is? Seems pretty cool.
I think if I'm thinking of the right character, Togruta?
Sure, that one. I'll go with that. Also, just a side note, I'm pet sitting again. You may hear some little dog noises in the background now and again. I don't know what to do about that.
I definitely would want to be a Hutt race.
A Hutt?
A Hutt?
Yes.
I'd like to be a Hutt.
Are you real?
Because
for real?
It's just the most accurate to my current state.
Just a giant space slug, potato, mafia,
but very
family.
Demanding.
I thought Hutt was the name of their family, not the name of their species.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. It popped up in a list. I did my Googling ahead of time.
Then I'm changing my answer. I want to be that giant sand monster.
I was actually thinking, for real, if I wasn't going to be a human, I think I would like to be a Wookiee.
A Wookiee would be pretty cool. You don't have to wear clothes.
Yeah. And you're just so tall and, like, cool. Everyone loves Wookiees.
And only your best friends understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also accurate to real life.
Alright, next question. If you could have one vehicle from Star Wars, assuming you didn't need the fictional fuel required to run it, what would you want? Easy. Death Star. Not because I want to blow up planets, but because it's so nice in there. It's huge, and it's, like, well lit. I would just turn it into a space hotel. You know? Maybe a space bed and breakfast.
I was trying to think of something other than that, but I do think that that's the obvious answer. But I did look up some other ones that I knew what they looked like, but I didn't know the names of. So the one that I chose was the Delta 7 Jedi Starfighter. Just looks pretty dang sweet and zippy.
Okay, whatever, nerd. I know a lot of people would say
This whole podcast is about Star Wars.
So, what's your point? I know a lot of people would say Millennium Falcon, but it just looks real cramped in there. I'm not into it.
I guess I hardly think of the Death Star as a vehicle. Like you said, you would turn it into like a hotel. It's like a mobile home, like a big mobile home.
It's a vehicle. It's
I suppose
mobile.
Maybe. Does it move around much?
Are you serious? It goes around blowing up planets.
I know. It seems like a lot of work just to get from planet to planet.
It's so little work, it's absurd. You just push some buttons.
There was another one that I saw that looked pretty awesome. The Super Star Destroyer.
Wow.
That would be cool.
I think you're just looking up some Star Wars ships and choosing ones by what has the coolest name.
No, it looks cool.
Okay.
Like my appearances here.
All right.
There's also the X-Wing Starfighter is pretty cool looking.
Oh, that must be good because I've heard of that.
Yeah, no, I really like that one. I'm changing my answer to the X-Wing Starfighter.
All right, cool. I will very easily vanquish you in my chosen vehicle, which has not changed.
I'll fly through that little tidbit and
Oh, I
just
fixed
pull
that.
up the
We
story.
fixed that.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
we
You
fixed that,
can't.
and we had the original designer executed. So,
You put him on a planet and then destroyed the planet.
like, I'm pretty sure he did die. Didn't that happen in Rogue One? Pretty sure.
Probably.
I only saw the movie once. I am just absolutely the perfect person to be hosting a Star Wars themed episode.
Yeah, I mean, I like
Podcast.
Star Wars, but I'm not like a super fan, and so I haven't seen every episode a million times. I haven't seen every like related thing a million times.
Yeah.
Or I still haven't finished Clone Wars. I like started to really go through it, and then I got almost done with the first season and was distracted by other shows.
Yeah, same. I'm in season 2 or 3, I think. That is why we are depending on our question askers to be the uber Star Wars nerds and send in these questions that will make us research things and really explain things to the laymen, who are us and probably other people listening.
Yeah. Or they'll just get a kick out of hearing us try to answer these questions.
That is probably also true. Like, although it may be frustrating, I'm imagining listening to a Doctor Who themed podcast in which people were coming up with theories that clearly showed they did not watch all of the Doctor Who episodes and read supplemental materials and listen to the audios, you know? But who knows? Maybe it'll be fun.
Yeah. We'll see. Alrighty. So, next question. Last one from Jonah. He wants us to do current episode rankings. So...
I'm going to try my best to do this from my head right now. Oh, people are not going to like it right off the bat because everybody starts off with 5 being their favorite, I think. But I gotta go with 6. 6, 3, 5, 7, 8, 2.
Did you say 6, 3?
2,
3?
1, 3. No, wait. Did I say no, I meant 4. Not 3. I meant 4. I knew I was not going to be good at... I knew I wasn't going to quite nail that. Definitely not 3. 3's way down. It's almost last, if not last. But 2 might actually be last. Because I barely remember anything about 2.
I don't remember much about the first 3. Other than, well, I remember a decent amount, I think, from episode 1. I feel like I watched that a lot as a kid. So I was like, hey, a movie about a child. Yay!
It was just the only one we owned.
Yeah, that too. Which is weird, considering our father.
Yeah, he was a big Star Wars fan, but we didn't actually own, like, Star Wars. I think we rented it every time he really wanted to watch it.
Alright, if I'm trying to do this quickly, ranking them, I would say probably 5, 6, 4, 7, 1, 8,
Wow.
2, 3.
You liked 1 better than 8?
I don't know if I like it better. It's just that 8 was just very disappointing after so much history. And I mean, so was 1, but it has that like nostalgia from my own personal childhood.
I guess. I know this is going to come up later in this episode, but I am definitely in the minority of people who really liked 8.
Yeah.
No, I
don't
understand.
Despise it, but I don't really like it that much. It's really frustrating to me.
There were a lot of, I've read like all the arguments against it, and some of them I'm like, yeah, I get your point. I guess I don't have that emotional connection to some of the arguments. Some of the arguments I felt were a bunch of nonsense, though. So some of the ones that I see repeated over and over again, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I can't be really specific right now because it's just like random things I see here and there on Twitter or in YouTube comments.
quick question. Did anyone ask us about Solo? Did we already talk about Solo before?
I hadn't seen it last time we did this.
Gotcha.
I only saw it recently. It was okay. It wasn't as bad as people kept saying it was.
I did not really care for it. I just felt like it was a lot of bad acting and just kind of a mediocre plot.
Yeah, I agree.
But, I don't know.
The acting wasn't the best. The plot was like, whatever. But it was okay. I do recall I kept pausing it to do other things. Because I get bored once in a while. But to be fair, I don't have like the best attention span, so...
Would you like to read the next question?
So Brandon sent us a whole bunch of questions. First question, do you like the idea that Palpatine is possibly still alive and has been pulling the strings the whole time? So this is the first I'm hearing of this idea. But I did see a video from one of the video games that it looked like Palpatine in a robot or something. And so maybe that is what people are talking about. If not, then I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, did you see the trailer for the new movie for 9?
Yes, but I only really paid attention to the first half.
Well, I think at the very end, you hear Palpatine's voice, if I'm remembering things correctly. And so a lot of people are like, what?
I think I just assumed it was supposed to be a flashback or something.
I mean, it's very possible that's what it is. I don't know if there's more to it than that. I just know from the trailer, or like after watching that, hearing some things about people like freaking out about Palpatine, and I'm like, okay, well, I was gonna say in answer to this question that I have always liked the idea of characters reemerging after we find out that they're like manipulating things. Like, that's just like a fun idea for me.
Because that's you.
Yes. Like, surprise!
INTJ's back.
I'm the puppet master. But for some reason, I don't want it to be Palpatine. Like, I don't want that unless there's some like really crazy twist. But I just feel like that's not gonna happen. I don't think that that's gonna happen.
Before 8 came out, I was like so convinced that Palpatine was Rey's grandfather or something. And that's why she's British. So that's about as extensive as my theory went. And I guess also...
Watch that be the exact correct theory.
But I'd also read something about how, like, her fighting style was similar to his or something. Like, better arguments than just they're both British. And so, like, this new episode, Rise of Skywalker, everyone thinks it's gonna be Luke, but, like... And then so many people thought Rey was a Skywalker, and now they're all like, oh, that theory's coming back out again, even though in 8, they were like, no, her parents are no one special. So it could be Kylo, who's counting as a Skywalker. Who knows? Could be.
Sure.
But we all really just want to see Luke.
So the next question from Brandon. Are you in any way excited for The Mandalorian? I am.
So when I saw this, I was like, what? And then I remembered, oh yeah, I vaguely remembered hearing about that. I mean, so last year when we did this podcast, Brandon was saying, I want more Mandalorian content. That's all he was talking about. And I was like, Amanda, what? But then
Oh my god.
And then I started watching Clone Wars because of that episode. And now I'm like, yeah, I'm all about getting more Mandalorian content now. But, yeah, so I watched, like, that, a bit of leaked footage, and it looks awesome. So, yes, I am excited.
I remember that question that, if they were to make more shows or movies that were offshoots of, like, something like that, that Brandon said the Mandalorians, and I said the Sith Lord. And I still really want that to happen, but when I heard that they were making the Mandalorian, I immediately thought of our podcast from last year about that, and I was like, I'm so excited, because, like, that was my second choice. And I'm just like, oh, and the trailer looks really, really good. That sneak peek, you know, that people aren't supposed to do when they're at cons, but they do it anyway, and it makes everyone happy, except for the people that say not to do it. It was great.
Yeah, except, so this leaked footage has been up for a while, and it's not getting taken down. I feel like they kind of want it to be out there.
Yeah, it's fine. It creates hype, but you feel like, haha, I have secret knowledge, which makes people extra excited and extra hyped.
So hyped
for it. Anyway, next question.
Cassian Andor is getting his own show, and Alan Tudyk is reprising his role as K2SO. Is that how you say his name? I forget. How cool is that? Very cool. Because when, spoilers ahead for Rogue One, when K2SO died.
Why are you... I'm going to go ahead and assume that anyone who's listening to this...
Tanya, I'm just very courteous when it comes to media consumption, alright? Spoiler, Darth Vader is Luke's father. So when K2SO died, I got so upset that in my head, I literally thought the only way this will be okay is if literally everybody else also dies.
Yeah. Dude, same.
So good thing
so mad.
everyone else died.
How dare they kill the best Star Wars character?
And when everyone else died, I was like, you know what? Good. Because I would have been really mad if it was just K2SO.
Did we see this movie together?
No.
That would have been really funny if we were both just sitting there thinking at the same time. Good.
I never recognize Alan Tudyk's voice in things, even though he is often the voice of many of my favorite characters. I just never realize it's him until I look it up.
Yeah, I didn't know until later.
What a cool actor.
Next question from Brendan. Do you think that Luke is a Force ghost or just alive? And what do you want him to be? I think he's just a Force ghost, and I'm kind of cool with him being that.
I want Luke to be safe and protected, like the precious baby that he is, forever.
He certainly is a big baby.
I don't know if Luke is a Force ghost or alive. I would like him to just be in the movie, you know? I just love Luke. And I was really bummed out by the ending of 8. Because even though it was like, yeah, Luke, so cool, I was instantly like, oh no, Luke, come back.
Yeah.
I waited so long for more Luke Skywalker, and then I get it for 5 seconds, and then he's gone.
I would be cool with him, you know, being alive and, well... I guess I don't really have a preference, so... Yeah,
I mean, I just want it to work well with the story.
Yeah.
But I also want Luke to be perfect and safe forever.
Okay, so next question from Brandon. Why is Ewan McGregor so dang handsome?
Easy, because he's Scottish. Next question.
Why is he so dang handsome? It's not... How do you... Just stop, Ewan McGregor. Not allowed.
Just stop. I don't know. It's like that. He's almost ginger, but almost a brunette, but almost blonde. He's got this accent.
All of the things.
He's just like... Who knows how old he is at any given time? You can't tell. He just doesn't seem human. And yet, so human.
Like many celebrities who don't seem to age.
Yeah, so I'm just glad that we can all agree that Ewan McGregor is so dang handsome.
Yeah. I'm glad that Brandon feels the same as us.
I felt the same way since high school, so, you know, wow. I've sure changed. But Ewan? No. More like not you. And...
Wow. Would you like to ask the next question.
So one time in high school, my freshman year, I drew all my friends as snails, and I gave them all pun names that were puns of their names and snails. And I had a friend named Ian, and his pun name was Ewan, but I had never heard of Ewan McGregor before. I didn't know that was a real name. Anyway, end of story. Thank you.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not.
I thought not was not in the question, but that was a question. And yes, I have heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, because even though I didn't actually remember that part from that movie, I am very familiar with memes, and so I've seen this come up many times. It's very popular in the meme world.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it at all. But I'm looking on Urban Dictionary. Definitely the best place to find information.
So good.
And it it says I thought not right after also. It's not a story. The Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. He became so powerful, the only thing he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew, then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. It's ironic he could save others from death, but not himself.
That delivery. Mwah.
Shut up! Stop kissing my deliveries.
Ew.
Oh boy. Anyway, I didn't know there was a meme. I'm gonna have to look into this.
Yeah, it
meme.
pops up a lot.
I probably have seen it, I just don't know that it's... I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, so... Do you think that J.J. Abrams can fix the dumpster fire that was The Last Jedi?
You know what? Leave The Last Jedi alone, everybody. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, everyone else is wrong, and you're right.
Yes, as usual. Typical INTP plight.
Yep, that's the issue. That's the reality.
It is. Look at Einstein. He was the only one who was right. But he was way ahead of his time. They're still proving him right. They're literally still proving him right.
I don't think you really can compare Einstein to you and your Star Wars opinions.
I see no reason why not.
Just another issue. I think I have a lot of faith in J.J. Abrams, actually. I think he can do a lot. I think that if he hadn't, left things to be ruined in the first place, that would have been better. However, I think that episode 9 can be good.
I would like to say I have faith in J.J. Abrams, but for faith, you have to have trust. And have trust, you have to not break that trust. And when he left Star Trek, the trust was damaged.
When he left Star Trek?
Yeah.
Star Trek?
Yes. I'm not changing. I'm serious. I'm talking about Star Trek.
What does him leaving Star Trek have to do with
Because he
Star
betrayed
Wars?
us. He forgot which star he was supposed to be working on. He left for Star Wars. Gave us this horrible third Star Trek movie because he was gone. And then people are all mad and please fix Star Wars. You guys can't trust him to stick around. Who knows? He's probably off working on Starman or something. Some other star. Star versus the forces of evil.
Well, I mean, maybe he just wanted to give someone else a chance. And
yeah, that's how Hollywood directors work.
Maybe now he's learned his lesson.
After ditching 2 stars,
I am a fan of the J.J. Abrams, so I'm trying to...
Really? You're a fan? How many stars would you give him? Because he'll take them all. But he might leave them behind.
Yep, definitely can't give him 5 out of 5.
Well, he hasn't found
Or
the 5th
3 out
one
of
yet.
3.
Alright, let's move on. I'm out of star puns.
Okay, hottest Star Wars girl.
So in Brandon's opinion, he let us know it is episode 5, Leia. I don't know if he knows that...
Did you say Leah?
What? I said Leia. Anyway, I don't know if he knows that Leia is the same as the other episode Leias. Same person, in fact. So, pretty sure he just means Leia.
He means specifically in a particular outfit.
Yeah,
Leia.
I know. Brandon, tisk, tisk, tisk.
Every other
So cliche.
man on Earth.
I've got to go with Natalie Portman, though. I always wanted to look like her. Oh my gosh, I was so jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's my answer. Padme.
Yeah. I mean, also, though, like, Keira Knightley,
No.
who looks very similar.
No, Padme.
I always wanted to look like Keira Knightley, so I guess I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, fine. We can
With
have
her.
one. We can have one Amidala each. All right, hottest Star Wars guy. Again, Brandon let us know his opinion. Episode 3, Obi-Wan. I'm gonna go with episode 4, Obi-Wan. Just kidding. It's obviously Han Solo. I mean, Obi-Wan and Han Solo are pretty, it's pretty close. They're both pretty attractive.
Oh man, but I love Cassian Andor.
I can't even really remember what he looks like off the top of my head.
Hot.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it. I mean, Poe's pretty cute, also. But I gotta still go with Han Solo, I think.
We're talking hot, not cute.
Those are the same, in my mind.
No. Han Solo is hot, not cute.
He's cute.
No, he's not.
In a way.
Luke is cute.
Luke is very
not hot.
cute. You're right. Okay. They're both acceptable forms of attractive.
They're both,
Yes.
there's attractive, but then we're dividing up the types of attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, next question. What do you want to see most in episode 9? And again, an opinion from Brandon. I want to see Luke rip Star Destroyers from space and throw walkers around with the Force. I want crazy powerful space wizard stuff.
I mean, after I read that, I gotta say, that's what I want to.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I mean, that would be pretty sweet.
That's pretty good. Tawny, if he throws walkers around, what if he throws them up into the sky? And that's how he gets his name.
I thought that was part of the joke.
No!
Was that not an intended thing?
No, he's gonna throw the walker in the sky and someone's gonna be, what's that up in the sky? Walkers! It's a skybird! It's a sky plane! It's a skywalker! That's all I want.
So recently, I don't know if it was like a tweet or something you said. I don't remember. I think I saw it on Twitter. But basically someone saying that they don't understand why the people looking up at the sky, seeing Superman, why in the first place they were shouting, "It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's a plane!" Like, why are you
Okay.
excited about those things?
I know. You're just walking down the street, okay, Harold.
Why are you exclaiming? It's a bird!
I'm just imagining someone not bothering to look up for the first two shouts, and then finally they say, it's Superman. Oh, what?
You idiot!
Oh. Okay, what's your favorite type of trooper? Mine is super.
Super duper.
Super Trooper. I like how we have 2 songs with Super Trooper in it.
You know, this is not something they're all stormtroopers in my brain.
I like Rebel Troopers, so Finn.
Clone Troopers, Advanced Recon Commando or ARC Troopers, Trooper Pilot, Flame Trooper, Biker. A lot of these are just from Clone Wars. Basically just the troopers with different jobs.
Yeah.
Like, I hold a flamethrower. I am a different trooper.
I like the water types myself.
The scuba ones?
Wait, is that really a thing?
Clone scuba trooper. There's the clone scuba trooper.
I was fully making a Pokemon joke, but I cannot explain to you how much I love the phrase scuba trooper. So that is my answer.
I'm gonna go with this one that looks. Nope, I don't like it.
What is it? A pooper scooper trooper? They could have called this the water trooper a grouper trooper. Tell me the other kinds of troopers.
There's so many, Aisha.
I want to make jokes.
First order snow trooper.
First order snow trooper.
First order flame trooper. Okay, this is what I'm gonna choose. First order Mega Blaster Heavy Assault Trooper. That's my choice.
Wow.
There's also the Executioner Stormtrooper. Oh, and honorable mention, Captain Phasma?
That's that silver lady, right?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yep, I remember people being all
Emperor's
excited
Royal
about her.
Guard. Elite Praetorian Guard. Anyway, okay, so next question. Did you ever answer?
Yeah, Scuba Trooper.
Oh, I thought it was a Super Trooper.
They're both the same thing. All right, so Jordan sent in sort of like an essay. So this is from Jordan.
Of course he did.
Typical ENFJ. Okay. I know it's kind of controversial, but I'm still pretty sad about the state of the Skywalker saga after TLJ. That's not to say I don't have hope in Episode 9. I just think I'll always view that movie, Episode 8, as a huge missed opportunity and lost potential. Ugh, ENFJs, so obsessed with potential. But anywho, y'all should talk about your thoughts on The Mandalorian. Done and did, Jordan. Here's leaked footage of the first episode at Star Wars Celebration. I watched it, and I enjoyed it. Thank you, Jordan. I'm very excited for that show. It looks amazing. With Jon Favreau, director of Iron Man, Taika Waititi, director of Thor Ragnarok, and Dave Filoni, writer-creator of Clone Wars animated series, all involved, it seems like it's sure to be an amazing, gritty, world-building show with rich character development, tasteful fan service alluding to the expanded universe, looking at you, IG-88, and loyalty to the lore/spirit of Star Wars. Much of the reception to this show so far consists of longtime Star Wars fans saying they're more excited for this than Episode 9, LOL. Also, Carl Weathers. Please say, baby, you got yourself a stew going on your show. Tawny, if you would.
Baby, you got yourself a stew going.
Thank you, Tawny.
You're welcome.
Back to Jordan's essay. Also, please look at how to make stew. What?
You know, when I'm getting hungry, I'll do that.
Okay. He goes on. What are your thoughts on Episode 9? I hope Jar Jar was Plagueis all along. I hope Palpatine cloned himself or made a hologram of himself with his consciousness in it. I think that's how they did it in the storyline of the new Battlefront game. I also wish Rey was a better character. I wish she had more of a story arc. I wish she was more relatable. I wish she failed in at least one of the first 2 movies so she could rise from the ashes as a phoenix in 9. But sadly, she has succeeded in every battle she's been in so far. How exciting. Regardless, I trust J.J. Abrams to make the rise of Skywalker at least semi-cathartic for longtime fans.
I like that he basically asked and answered all of the questions that Brandon already asked. It's like he's part of the podcast now.
It's like he's an ENFJ and he wants to make sure we answer the questions right. I'm having fun making fun of ENFJs. Sorry, Jordan. So let me start up at the beginning here. So we talked about The Mandalorian already.
The only question was, what are your thoughts on episode 9?
Okay.
That's the only question.
So this Jar Jar thing, I think we talked a little bit in the last year's episode about how much I really wanted Jar Jar being a Sith to be a real thing. So I gotta go ahead and say, yeah, sure, I'm down with that. That sounds good. Although didn't Palpatine kill him though?
When I was talking about, when I said earlier that I've always liked the idea of a character reemerging and we find out they've been manipulating things, and I didn't want it to be Palpatine, I was thinking, I want it to be Jar Jar.
It'd be so good.
Because it would just be so funny.
I would love it. Yeah, so we talked about Palpatine being alive already. So as far as Rey, I don't know. I think she's cool. I don't know that she necessarily has to fail super bad to make her successes cool. I think she's just cool, but whatever. So I guess what I have an issue with sometimes is the idea of changing the story to make it more cathartic for the fans. Because I think the story should just be the story. You know, like I understood in episode 7 why they did so much fan pandering, because they're like getting it out again and they wanted to make sure everybody's all excited for new Star Wars. But that can go too far. And I say this as a person who, I mean, fully enjoys the catharsis myself. So I understand that desire. But I also, like, I'm not gonna go in with too many expectations of, like, the story better go this way or I'm gonna pout. You know? Like, the story's the story.
Well, I have nothing else to add to that.
Tawny, you need to, because I didn't even say anything good.
I already said my thoughts on episode 9. I want it to be Jar Jar. The end.
The end.
As far as Rey being a better character, I think I agree that, like, it would be great if there were some more, like, failures, I suppose, or more... It just kind of... She started off already knowing how to do things, and you're like, how do you know how to do this? And, like, what?
The Force.
But at the same time, I don't care that much about that in particular. What will, I think, fix things for me is if that can happen, I think, at least once in episode 9, is if, like, the trial that happens in the beginning actually seems like a trial or unsurmountable and there's actual struggle. I think that'll kind of make up for things a bit, but it would have been better if it took longer, like it wasn't going to be crammed into one episode. I don't know.
I panicked for a second when you said trial, because I was like, man, a trial? Was I really not paying attention to the trailer? There's a trial going on? Is that how the last movie ended? And then I was like, oh, she means like a struggle. Okay.
Yeah. She's getting sued.
I was like, what? Spaceport? All right.
Ooh.
So, you wanna ask the next question?
Sure. So the next question is from Aston, and he asks, episode 9 predictions? Can we just move on from the episode 9 predictions, please?
So basically Aston sent a stack of questions, so we can just go ahead and move along.
Less of an essay, more of a... Okay, so the next question is, who do you ship in the new trilogy / the entire universe?
I ship, Rose and Finn. But I also ship Rey and Finn. I used to I'll admit it, I a little bit used to ship Kylo and Rey, but that is not a healthy relationship.
I totally ship Kylo and Rey.
Rilo.
I still
I still a little bit do. Just a little.
Yep. Star Wars characters as
so
insert fandom here.
Yeah, he wants us to choose a fandom and then make them Star Wars characters, or make the Star Wars characters the fandom characters. I guess we could choose, like, let's say, Phineas and Ferb. So, just kidding. Wait, they already did a crossover. Let's do one that didn't have a crossover already. Alright, Star Wars characters as Star Trek characters.
No.
Think of a fandom. I just watched so many more cartoons than you. Star Wars characters as Adventure Time characters.
Let's go with that.
Okay. C-3PO, Jake. BMO, R2-D2.
Okay, BMO is obviously R2-D2, but C-3PO is not Jake.
I know. Jake is
Han Solo?
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Finn.
Yes.
Finn is Han Solo. No, Finn is Luke, though. Gosh, this is hard.
Finn is Luke.
Finn is Luke. Who's Han Solo? Marceline.
I can roll with that.
Anakin is PB, Princess Bubblegum. Because she could so easily go to the dark side. Darth Vader, Ice King. Same character.
But doesn't work.
Okay, Palpatine, Ice King. Sure. This is oh, what a mess. We're making such a mess.
Did we choose one for Jake? Is he Chewbacca? No.
Yeah, he's Chewbacca.
Is he? Okay.
Lady Rainicorn, Leia.
Leia's with Chewbacca.
No, Lady Rainicorn is Rey. Rainicorn. Wait, literally there's a character named Finn.
Yeah.
This is hard.
I think we needed more time to think about this and to draw diagrams.
Really flesh this out.
I can't.
There's so many different ways. Send fan art. We need it.
Why don't you make the fan art?
Oh, right. I do that.
Do it.
I do that.
Okay, Asia, if you would write your own Star Wars story in any medium, book, movie, play, podcast, etc., what would it look like?
Okay, when I saw this, I thought, probably somebody must have done this by now, but a podcast would be pretty cool. However, now that I'm looking at it again, a play, like an opera, like a space opera, but really an opera, I think that would be so cool. Has anyone made a Star Wars opera before? Do it. Send fan art. Send fan art.
So, speaking of Star Wars podcasts, actually, I was supposed to be a voice for something like that.
What?
It was basically readings of newer comics, and yeah, I don't know what happened to it. It was a while back before I moved to New York. I was asked to do some voice work, basically. And I was like, you realize I've never done this before. But I was excited about it, and then it kind of never happened.
Yeah, that's
it does seem
typical.
Cool, though. But I don't think that would be my ideal way of writing a Star Wars story. Dang, I really like your opera idea. That is pretty sweet. Maybe not an opera. I think I would like a play.
So, the reason I'm leaning...
Or a musical.
I'm leaning more towards that because it seems more original, because I haven't heard one, but there's gotta be, radio plays, podcast-style sort of radio plays of Star Wars. That's gotta be out there. If you know of one, let us know.
If it's quality.
Yeah, it better be quality. Who would you bring into the universe, Marvel crossover style? Doctor Who?
I mean, can we combine the Star worlds?
I've seen things along those lines before, and I do think it could be pretty cool. I think it would involve time. It would be a time travel episode for Star Trek time travel episode, because it's a long time ago. Except, so in Star Trek, they don't really leave our galaxy that often. Usually it's an accident if they do. And it is a galaxy far, far away. So it'd have to have some sort of wormhole, alternate dimension, time travel situation.
Yeah, that would be really difficult to squeeze into a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? Yeah, so we can do it. Obviously, it's done. So what would happen? So I saw a size comparison of the Millennium Falcon and the Starship Enterprise recently, and the Starship Enterprise could absolutely kick the Millennium Falcon's butt. So sorry for everybody who says the opposite is true.
I feel like that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, you would not believe how many people are like, the Millennium Falcon could blast the Enterprise. I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Like, Millennium Falcon has like a few people on it, and it still seems crowded.
Yeah, the Enterprise has a crew of like 400 people. It has torpedoes and phasers and shields. It's humongous. It may be a science vessel, but it is absolutely set up for battle. So, yeah.
Yep.
Shut up, Star Wars nerds. On our Star Wars podcast.
Happy May the 4th.
Happy May the 4th, nerds. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek lately. I can tell you way more about that. Why don't we have a Star Trek episode?
Kiss, marry, kill.
So Aston would personally marry Rey. So this is what Aston says. You guys just have to know. Personally, marry Rey. I'd be her Ron-stoppable. Sorry, wrong franchise. You'd be the wrong stoppable. So we should have just done that crossover earlier. Let's make Star Wars characters Kim Possible characters.
No, that's okay. So
Draco.
So Asia,
wait,
who would you kiss?
Is that his name? What's the bad guy's name? Drago or something? Obviously Darth Vader. I'm done.
Who would you kiss?
Who would I kiss? I would kiss Han. I would marry Luke. I would kill Anakin.
Like how you say Anakin, not Darth Vader.
Yeah, because Anakin's way more annoying than Darth Vader.
I agree.
I might also marry Obi-Wan, but he wouldn't do it because he's such a good Jedi.
I probably would also kiss Solo.
Mm-hmm.
But I would marry Cassian. And who would I kill? Just so many people to choose from.
What about one of those, like, frog guys who like business?
Like business?
Those merchant guys. I'm so good at Star Wars. What about Jabba the Hutt?
Fine, I'll kill Jabba.
Too late. Leia already did it. And she kissed Han, but she also married him. No, she kissed Luke and married Han! Leia. She played this game way before us.
Probably would kill one of those, like, annoying Jedi Council people.
Ugh, they're so annoying.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh. That guy with, like, the really tall head and the white beard.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about him, but he's annoying. So, we settled. You would kiss Yoda, marry the tall head guy, and kill Mace Windu. Got it.
Yep, that's what I said. So, Asia, last question from Aston. How far detached from humanity do you have to be to still use the Force?
I don't understand the question. Like, are we talking about how Anakin wasn't far enough detached, and so He can still use the Force, though. Just
Yeah.
the dark side of the Force. Luke wasn't very detached, and he did just fine, mostly.
I think well, all of them have, like, really strong emotions and, like, attachment to humanity, and I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Skywalkers are exceptions, maybe, because Leia, like, she wasn't detached even a little bit and didn't even really try to use the Force, and she still used the Force. But, like, Obi-Wan was not a Skywalker, and he had to, like, he really did try to cut off his human his relationships, as much as possible to be a good Jedi. So maybe for most people it's necessary more so than it is for a Skywalker because, immaculate conception and all that. Chosen one and all that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a matter of using the Force. It's more like detached from humanity to be like a Jedi or Sith.
Yeah, I don't know. What I really want to get to is the thing that made me happiest in this whole podcast, which is that Aston gave us a name-specific sign-off, which really tells you what podcast he listens to other than ours. Aston signed off, like the car, not the Kutcher, Aston. And that just made me really happy, so thank you, Aston, for that excellent name-specific sign-off. I want more name-specific sign-offs, people.
All right, so our last question that we have is from Travis, and he says, in honor of our dear, dear Peter Mayhew, what is your very favorite Chewie moment and why? The one true Chew. You will be missed. May the Force be with you.
So until I read that question this morning, I did not know that Peter Mayhew had passed away.
Yeah, I heard about it just today, earlier.
Yeah, that was upsetting. I will miss seeing him at conventions. Because, he always seemed like a staple every time I went to a con. There's Peter Mayhew, aw.
Yeah, he is a nice dude.
Yeah, I read a bunch of stuff about him today. It seems like everybody really liked him. And then I looked up, his body double who took over the role for the last episode. Junis, something. Saotomo or something. He's real tall, which I think is a prerequisite.
Yeah, I think that's probably the one requirement.
To be named Jonas.
Yes, that's what I meant. Before we answer the question, I wanted to read what Travis said after. He said, I am writing a Star Wars fan fiction story with my cousin Sean that is the would-be Kenobi film, set roughly 11 years post-ROTS. Vader, in the throes of the Jedi Purge, is the main antagonist searching for Palpatine's most coveted Jedi relics. Kenobi, motivated by Qui-Gon's Force Ghost, leaves Tatooine to attempt one last time to confront Anakin in hopes to win him back to the light side. Along the way, he recruits Quinlan Vos and Ahsoka. Even Mace Windu makes an appearance. Would you be interested in seeing the story made into a film? Oh, so I guess it's actually a second question. So first question.
What is your favorite Chewbacca moment?
Oh man, I would really need to rewatch, episodes to remember specific Chewbacca moments. Because I know that there's just really good ones.
Okay, so my favorite Chewbacca moment is that time he's trying to wipe the hologram pieces off the table because he's losing the game. Hilarious.
I don't know if it's, a particular moment, but I think the one thing I liked about Solo was seeing, how Han Solo and Chewie, became friends and such. I liked seeing their particular little origin story. I just thought that was really nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
But, the rest of the movie, I was like, meh.
I liked how they became old friends together, too.
Yeah,
and exactly. It was very sad.
That was what kind of reminded me was, also just the N7, they're reuniting, basically. Also, so good.
So sad.
But yeah, definitely Chewie trying to wipe off holograms is pretty good.
So, would you be interested in Travis's fan fiction story becoming a movie? Only if he invites me to the premiere.
Well, that's a given. I
actually really like the idea of Obi-Wan not quite giving up on Anakin, like having one last attempt to get him back. That sounds like a cool idea.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think I just don't know. Sometimes I think you can do like a prequel and it work because there's still unanswered things.
Mm-hmm.
But considering it's like, we already know the huge ending.
Well, it would be, obviously we'd already know the answer, but we already knew the answer in all the prequels.
Yeah.
So, but
I suppose.
it was still good world building, and I don't know. We'll see. Send us the story when you've got some stuff written. Then we'll know if it's good or not. And Tawny will be brutally honest.
As always.
Right. I think it sounds like a cool premise, though.
Yeah. All right, that's it for us today. Thanks so much for listening. If you would like to leave us a voice message, you can call 1-330-886-CUBE. That's CUBE, or 2823. If you'd like to support this podcast and enjoy some sweet bonus content, head on over to patreon.com/mostlyrational, where you can hear our blooper reels, which there will be plenty of from this episode.
Oh, yeah.
And bonus episodes for as little as $1 a month. There's also bonus content to be found there for free, so just check it out. Also, just a reminder that our website is live, so go to mostlyrationalpodcast.com to send in questions and stay connected. You can also just email us at mostlyrationalpod@gmail.com, which I did want to say, I've been seeing a lot more people using or sending emails, and I love it. Thank you. Makes it a lot easier on us for all the questions to go to one place. And
May the 4th be with you.